That's right, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions Nudes, where we sample nudes from the game files. As you can see, we've got a nude Juggernaut here, and later on we'll be showing you other nudes. I'm only kidding, this is Marvel Contest of Champions News! Coming up in the news today, we've got plenty of stuff to talk about, whether or not it's the arena cutoffs, and unfortunately I got something a little bit wrong. Apologies, we'll talk about that in a moment. There's also stuff with people talking about Mystic Dispersion. It's been very much quiet on the front of the boost thing, the boost issue. But we're also going to talk about new images and imagery of the two new champions coming into the game, Thrash and Darkhawk. Our first story kicks things off with Thrash and Darkhawk. We get our first glimpses, as you can see in this video here. First of all, we've obviously got that little bit on the skateboard, and that's going to be quite exciting to see a skateboard-based champion. Well, it's not based on that, but it's kind of cool to see him, well, using the skateboard as a new thing. As you can see, the imagery for Darkhawk, that looks pretty darn sharp. We have a look at the abilities, and I have done a video. Link is in the description if you want to find out a bit more about the abilities for these champions. You see some of these movements look so darn cool. And, you know, the ability to do like the stealth stuff and different modes, as we said, null mode in a previous video does look quite good. So I'm quite excited to see this character coming in. And Thrasher with that cool skateboard. Oh man, it's so good. And then we've got sample, just normal standard champions. Then we've got Darkhawk again flying around. A bit of Thrasher showing off a bit, and then Darkhawk channeling some fantastic powers on the SP3. And if you want to learn more about these champions' abilities, then go to the link in the description, as I'm now talking over the top of myself. Look, this is magical, isn't it? Look, it's me, it's me, it's me and me. This is Inception shit right here. Look at him, blah, 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 blah. Next up, and shout out to those who have recently joined the community. If this is your first year in the community, then welcome aboard. If this has been a good year for you, if this has been a bad year for you, this post here is all about those coming together and their experiences of a first year, whether or not they're grinding out extensively or not so much. Here's a little post just for you. This is a good little way for anybody new to the game to kind of share experiences, and whether or not they feel they could be doing a little bit better. This is always a quite nice thing to get feedback from maybe people that have just started out in the game. I myself am coming up to my 4th year of playing the game, and yeah, there's been some really decent times, and also there's been some less than decent times. And whether or not you're having a good time or a bad time, just remember to be patient, because we will be talking a little bit more about patience in grinding out content in a future story. Right, now let's step into the controversial shoes. And when I step into these shoes, we're going to discuss something that is a controversial topic, hence the name Controversial Shoes. Mystic Dispersion is on today's agenda, with a lot of players still feeling a little bit sore and a little bit salty from the point of the changes from Mystic Dispersion earlier this year. Bad Rose put up this post here, which highlights some things that Kabam Mike had said about, again, earlier in this year when Mystic Dispersion was changed. And it's very much a difference of opinion on the subject, whether or not you feel strongly for and strongly against the whole nerfing of Mystic Dispersion, where it seemed in Kabam's eyes this was a logical nerf. Other players in the community, based on rank up decisions, so Mystic champions that they decided to rank up, largely felt the pinch when it came to the nerf, and as well players that have invested their time into certain champions, whether or not it's resources, whether or not it's grinding out content to get certain, again, more resources. This is the point where we have a split decision. And to quickly fill you in on this story, it broke earlier this year that players were finding a bit frustrating going up against Mystic champions that felt they were too OP, based on the fact of Mystic Dispersion creating too much quick power gain. So it made playing against them in Alliance Wars pretty uncompetitive and unsporting. But on the other side to the argument was a good thrust for a champion being ranked up in people's eyes. If they were going, hey, well, my Dr. Voodoo is really good, I want to put him a bit further up because Mystic Dispersion makes him powerful. The same thing for Magic, for champions like Dormammu. Then those were good shouts, and players were creating those champions around that. I personally structured my Dormammu around Mystic Dispersion in order to really pack a punch from an offensive point of view of using a champion, and also from a defensive point of view. It seems Kabam felt very strongly about this kind of nerf, which obviously affected everyone that had ranked up a certain champion based on Mystic Dispersion. If we're setting masteries up around certain champions, then we'll kind of go, yeah, well, that's not good. I would like to build a champion around mastery, but Kabam's new way of thinking is that all champions should be used for everything, so they're making it more of an even playing field, which isn't necessarily correct because a lot of older champions do not meet the same standards of damage output in the current meta of the game. I think a lot of people will really agree with that statement. But a difference of opinion will always be there, whether or not people felt that Mystic Dispersion allowed for 2 overpowered champions in the defense format and also for an offense perspective. Either way, there are going to be people that are going to be frustrated and hurt to a degree with the choices that they made in ranking up those champions. And it was a called for thing when they said, right, if you're changing a mastery and it affected my champion, then therefore I want to rank down the champion because I want to focus that on something else. And there's again another side to that argument that people will say, hey, well, you made that choice with that champion, so you need to like it or lump it. My personal hope and kind of midway point to kind of divide around the middle and unfortunately sit on the fence is that I hope by the end of the year Kabam do what they did last year, which they gave out free rank down tickets, and whether or not there's one champion that you could then save back that you over ranked up based on Mystic Dispersion, I hope that happens. Either way, this post has been pretty fresh and it's actually been put out today, so it is something still in the minds of the players. And what are your thoughts about the whole Mystic Dispersion thing? Are you still in the process that you're like, hey, well, has it really made any much more of a difference? Has it been a welcomed nerf? And at the same time, if you had a champion that you ranked up specifically for Mystic Dispersion, do you want to get those rank down tickets? And do you want to see some answers to this forum post, which, you know, could be answered by Kabam? Next up, I want to talk about the Sunday Arena. So I saw this post and I was like, you know what, it's got some good vibes to it, good ideas. And whilst I've been recording the video, there has been an answer by Kabam on the subject. But Sunday Arenas, yeah, are they of interest to anybody? Are they a waste of time? Yeah, we've got changes like 5-star shards, we've got 6-star shards. Yeah, it would be nice to see an improvement to the Sunday Arenas. Sunday feels like it's a day that, you know, you're not really doing very much. You're just about to start a new week. You've probably got some few hours after 6 PM GMT time. Don't know what time it comes out arena wise for you guys, but I'm sure that you'll be able to have more time to kind of grind out. And I think that it should be due for a change of arena. People are talking about the idea of a gold arena, which does sound like an interesting concept. But what are your thoughts? Put them in this forum post or in the comment section. And how would you improve the Sunday Arena? Would you add in a different type of arena, that more regular arena? What are your thoughts? And unfortunately, Kabam Mike says that there's no plans in the future to look at the Sunday Arenas, but I do welcome it as a thing that should be done. It would be good to look over some, well, stagnant arenas and revitalize them and bring them into the current meta of the game. More opportunities to get 5-star shards, 6-star shards, and even gold, which is something still that the community really needs. If I take a week off doing arena, it does show in the amount of gold that I don't get back, and that includes doing things like Alliance Quest, Alliance Wars, and all other content that would give me gold. So yeah, it would be quite welcome to have something like a gold arena. But like I said, what are your thoughts? Do you have better suggestions? Put them in the comment section or go to the forum post. Link is in the description below. Next up and on to our video of the day. This one is by Professor Skill. He does amazing content not just for the English speaking community but also the German speaking community. Auf Deutsch, ich heiße Richard. Yeah, I know a little bit of German, not enough to do an amazing video, but he does stuff in an English version and also in a German version, so that is pretty impressive. But this video in particular is one of the more enjoyable and the most impressive. It is a one-stop shop for mastery builds. Now, even though it's 3 weeks old, there's also a follow-up that he's working on, which is fantastic, that he wants to constantly keep up to date and keep everyone up to date with mastery builds in the community. I strongly suggest going to the link in the description and taking a look. And it's great because he's got loads of different ones in the left-hand corner, as you can see over there, loads of different types of mastery builds, and he talks through them, which, you know, is great to have someone talking through them and at the same time displaying what he's changing and as he's changing it and what it affects and how it functions. Okay, next up, arena cutoffs. Slight apologies with this. Unfortunately, I predicted a 25 mil for 5-star Punisher and he ended up going for 30 mil, so apologies with that. It went a bit higher than I thought he would. Maybe this is for the usage of the champion in certain content like Champions Clash, with utilizing batteries and charges and heavy attacks. You know what I mean, with stuns, keeping the stun, constant stun going. You guys know what I mean by that. The next thing is the 6-star version going for 5.6, which comes in close to the 6 million I predicted. And unfortunately, a little bit of apologies with Domino. Domino ended up going for 4.255 mil. But I said to go for 4.2 mil, so if anybody went for it flat, I apologise for that. It's a little bit of me being off the mark there with that one. But the round twos, where do I see the round twos going? And I think we're going to go around Punisher 32 mil, just to be safe. And then we've got the 6-star. Again, another 6 mil is going to be safe for that. And finally with Domino, I don't really know, and it's hard to stick up my neck, but I'll go for a easy getting the champion at 4.4 mil. She'll probably end up going for about 4 mil flat, but still, you got to get the champion if you really want to get her. 4.5 to be safe, but I think she'll probably go 4.4. Oh, and I've just heard we've had breaking news. Breaking news is in that there's been a big issue with the Ultron's Assault. It is missing. We don't know where it's gone. Well, Command Mike says this is just a slight issue and it'll be resolved, but it's gone. Where's it gone? Has Kabam realized that it is a money-making pit and decided that they're going to shoot themselves in the foot by not having it in the game anymore? What's the story? What's the big scoop? There's no big scoop. It's just the fact that it's gone somewhere. It'll return soon, I promise. And it has been confirmed. Everyone in the Kabam office can breathe a sigh of relief that the cash cow has returned. Great. So that's been Marvel Contest of Champions news. If you enjoyed the news today, hit the like button and tell a friend to subscribe, share the video with a friend that maybe plays Marvel Contest of Champions. Help me out, please. But in any case, yeah, thanks very much for watching. I've been RichTheMan. Make sure to like, share and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.